to substitute on the fly to accommodate that, and work is ongoing with the FDA in that regard. Now, there's a lot of concentration of agriculture operations in this country, which again is good for industry, but bad for us. And you'll see in the graphics here, the map of the United States, the darker areas indicate the concentration of, I believe it's dairy cows, wheat, swine, and poultry. And this concentration allows disease to propagate very quickly with no intervention from the terrorists other than the initial responsibility that they took for introducing the pathogen. Now, agriculture in this country accounts for over 12% of our gross domestic product, and 1 in 6 jobs is either directly or indirectly related to food or agriculture. And as I said, although no one may be killed or injured in an attack on our agricultural system, it could have a dramatic impact on our way of life. All the way from the farmer to the seed manufacturer to the truck driver to the mechanic who fixes the truck. If there's nothing to be transported, or there's no product to be manufactured or produced, there's going to be a tremendous economic loss. You're going to have difficulty perhaps making your mortgage, your car payment, paying for that new flat screen TV, paying for your kids' cell phone bill for all the texting he or she does. So it is going to affect us. Now, in the United Kingdom, in 2000, actually in the U.S. with mad cow disease, there was only 1 cow in the Pacific Northwest, which resulted in an export ban clamping down on us. And the exports, they went from $3 billion to $467 million, a tremendous decrease. In Taiwan, the FMD outbreak in 1997, they went from having, I believe, a 15% share in the export of pork to 0. And I don't believe that they have yet recovered from that impact. So there are a lot of direct and indirect impacts. In the United Kingdom, it was estimated that it cost them $15 billion to recover from the FMD outbreak there in 2001. $4.5 billion for the slaughter, compensation, disposal, and cleanup. And again, that may impact environmental health. With avian flu in Pennsylvania, there was over 17 million birds culled. With hog cholera in the Netherlands, there were 11 million pigs culled. When you kill that many animals, you have to do something with them. And from going around on the agricultural circuit here for the past few years, that is a very perplexing problem because of groundwater levels, because of the salinity of soil. There are all sorts of issues that could impact where you dispose of these animals. Now, we're going to look at animals, crops, and food as a target. And this graphic shows the impact of various diseases. This is foot-and-mouth disease, hot-path avian influenza, exotic Newcastle disease, classic swine fever, African swine fever, rinderpest. Foot-and-mouth disease would be a catastrophe in this country because of the impact on beef cattle and dairy cows. It would impact not only meat, but milk, cheese, and all the byproducts that derive from these animals. We like to eat chicken in this country, and as you'll see, APAI has a fairly high relative risk. When you get down into exotic Newcastle disease, the same thing. And until you get down to rinderpest, which some people would argue is not eradicated, but is contained in the over in Africa, in Somalia, and and the areas surrounding it, but still there are a lot of terrorists in Somalia, and it wouldn't be a stretch for them to bring it over here through some mechanism. Now, how easy would it be? You'll see on the bottom here that we had, a call-in or a write-in from Brazil who said that a Brazilian citizen will fly to the United States, to Washington, D.C., and they will be carrying bovine tissue in tubes containing foot-and-mouth disease. They told us to check their baggage. Now, this could be a poison pen, or it could be a legitimate tip. We have to follow them all up. We get probably hundreds of these a day across the country. We have to figure out how to best use our finite resources in partnership with state and local officials to look into this. You'll see, this is what was alleged to have done. If you get some of the, I forget the scientific term, but the slobber from the cow here, and the metal labs there, put it on some sort of a cloth, put it in your pocket, chances are you're not going to be stopped coming into this country. No one's going to, unless there's some reason, unless you were that Brazilian citizen that they called us about. I always carry handkerchiefs. No one's ever asked me to look at my hanky when I fly around the country of the world. It could be as simple as if you went to inspect a farm, you went walking on the moors over in England to see where Sherlock Holmes did his thing, and you tracked